Luigi Snar here again. Today we're going to be talking about the Renaissance, the Reformation, and the Age of Exploration.
Have you ever heard of the Renaissance? Have you? Have you? Because I have. And I know that the Renaissance was a time of achievements, art, and science. That's right. It was. It really was. It all started with a man by the name of Johannes Gutenberg. He was a special man because he invented the printing press, and this took away power from the church, which they didn't really like because before their monks could write the Bibles and they could sell them for a lot of money because it took so long to write one. But now that Gutenberg invented this new fancy printing press, it was like, what were they for? It's sort of like today. I mean, we used to have like watches, but now you got the Michael Kors and you're like, oh, I got the Michael Kors. And why do you need a watch from Walmart? Really? Think about it. With the church's declining power, it was becoming less involved in people's everyday lives, which they did not like. With people turning away from the church, they started going other places for answers, looking at other options for life, living life to their fullest potential, also known as YOLO. They started going out, partying, getting crunk, getting turned. YOLO word. Overall, during the Renaissance, or rebirth, the church lost almost all its power to science, math, and the arts. I'm back again. Back at it for your news today. For over 1,000 years, Roman Catholicism has been considered the biggest Christian religion in Europe. It had a lot of power over people. People soon began seeing the church as a bad, hypocritical thing. Now we're going to talk about Protestant churches. The beginning of the Protestant Reformation was the beginning of many things. This started with Martin Luther protesting against the sale of indulgences with his 95 Theses. Soon, John Calvin came about, preaching about Calvinism. John Calvin was a major Protestant. Soon came about the Anglican Church, or the Protestant Church of England. Calvin had the idea of predestination, that God decided the fate of everyone before they had lived. He decided where people would go when they die. When the Catholic Church went through changes in the late 1500s, it was known as the Catholic Counter-Reformation. This was an effect of the Protestant Reformation. Soon, something called the Holy Inquisition came about, which was handed over power from the Pope. The Holy Inquisition later formed the Jesuits, which was just a society for Jews. This society fought Protestantism with missionaries, teachers, and diplomats. When the Catholic Church tried to stop Protestantism, the religious wars started. Afterwards, many wars took place, shaking the stronghold of most religions.
This is a skit about the Glorious Revolution.
I'm the King of England.
I'm the King and Queen of the Dutch. And now I'm going to go overrun England.
Oh no, I have to flee now.
Now it's all mine. It's my throne. And just a little blood was shed.
Sounds really simple, doesn't it? Well, it wasn't so simple. You see, before William I of the Dutch could take the throne, he had to sign something called the Bill of Rights, which was saying that in order for him to rule, he had to also give power to the Parliament to help him rule England. This was a blossoming time for art. One particular form of art was literature, and who better than to write literature than William Shakespeare? He wrote a form of literature called Elizabethan, which was basically a drama form of literature. He wrote many plays, including Hamlet, Macbeth, and Romeo and Juliet. Romeo! Romeo!
Yes. My name is William. I wrote a lot of dramas. Mostly they were tragedies, but then they still are. Do 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 do. Yeah, I like death. Death is good. I like killing people. I might kill you.
Yeah, I like death. Death is good. I read a lot of tragedies. Death is good. I like death. Death is good. I read a lot of tragedies and death is good.
With the Reformation came the Scientific Revolution. The Scientific Revolution was a time in the early 1600s when thinkers such as René Descartes and Isaac Newton laid the groundwork for modern formal logic and revolutionized the ancient concept of the scientific method. The Enlightenment, or the Age of Reason, was a time when people figured out that culture not only valued science, but also philosophy and ideas about how to make the government and society better, more efficient, and humane. The Age of Exploration was a time between the mid-1400s to the 1700s when most of the European nations wanted to explore the world around them.
You know what was really cool? Technology. Technology was really gnarly, and the Chinese came out with this new form of technology called the compass. What better? The compass is going to help them with their sailing and their navigating and all that fun jazz. Go compass.
Hello, my name is Christopher Columbus, and it's the 1400s. I've discovered the compass from the Chinese, and now I have this handy-dandy neck compass.
Christopher Columbus. We've all heard of this mysterious man. But who is he really? Possibly a father? Possibly a husband? He was a man. A special kind of man. Because he believed that the world was round instead of flat. He knew that if he wanted to get to Asia, he needed to sail west to get east. When he told the church this, they were unhappy because they thought, no way, the world is not round. How can the world be round? It's flat.
Like Christopher Columbus, many other people wanted to explore the rest of the world. Some people wanted to explore Africa and sail around the tip. Some people wanted to explore the Americas and the surrounding islands, and others wanted to explore Asia. After these new places were found, people wanted to colonize there. So this was called colonization. Europe and the Dutch also sent people over to inhabit the land and claim it for them. The Age of Exploration pushed Europe and the surrounding nations into the modern era that we know today.
Protestantism, the religious wars started. After wars, many wars took place.
Age of Exploration. Okay, you want to talk about?
I want to talk about me. I want to talk about I want to talk about number one on my me, my, what I think, what I like, what I know, what I want, what I see. I like talking about you usually.